Hello, everyone. I am back again with another one of my students who took my storyboarding mentorship. His name is Marc, and we're going to do another interview with him to ask him about his experience taking my storyboarding mentorship. So, Marc, how are you doing today? I want, first, I would like you to kind of introduce yourself to everyone. Tell us, what kind of artist you are, what background you come from, etc.
Hey, Raj. Well, thanks for having me here. Sure. My name is Marc Rosete. Everybody calls me Marco. So I'm from Mexico. I'm currently based in Montreal. I'm working here. Um, my God, so I have a background. I've been doing like story comic books. So, I've been working on comic books for almost like 7, 8 years already, and I just started doing like storyboarding for the last Warner Brother games, Gotham Knight, which I have a lot of fun doing it. So that's what I decided that I wanted to get more into storyboarding, although I had not full experience on that. And I just decided that I want to switch careers basically and get more into storyboarding now.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, Mark, you actually reached out to me on LinkedIn when you read my bio in LinkedIn, right? So, how come you actually decided, to do a one-on-one mentorship instead of doing like a class type of storyboarding class or just buy storyboarding classes pre-recorded online?
And basically, I was looking a little bit of information and I found tutorials, but there's like the same information you get everywhere. Like, but it's not too in depth. It's something that, yeah, you get on one book. But it wasn't enough for what it's more technical. Um, so I needed more. And then I just ran into your LinkedIn and I saw your work and I saw the quality of the work is not about drawings being pretty, but I like the shots you had on your boards and the whole story around it. And that was a no-brainer to me after I saw your work. I didn't check your experience or background or anything, so I just contacted you right away. So like the work, your work talks for itself. So for me, it was like all that I needed.
Yeah, sounds good. So you were actually to create, one really long, I would say it started off as like a sequence, but then it kind of turned into kind of like a short film as we developed it, right? So how would you describe the process of developing that sequence?
First of all, I had like a 3 ideas already because I wanted to build a portfolio, and but I didn't realize I was struggling with like I don't know what shots to to choose from. I don't know what where to start the story, where to finish, what the characters. So it was just like a random idea with any real direction, right? And and it was I just wanted to show like cool shots, nice drawings, and something that is like action attractive. And then through the mentorship, I realized that it's, it's not about that. I mean, the class after class, I realized that my questions, why I don't know how to choose a shot, because you can choose like 100 different ways of doing it, and then you realize why you have to make that decision. And once you understand the why before that, there's no questions. You know what you're gonna do, and that little story that it was just like to show cool drawings, it became like a real story.
Yeah.
And a story that it is like character driven, so you can feel more connected to the characters and to the story at the end. Because at the end, as you told me, we're here to tell stories. And that was how that little thing became like a little, what they call it, like a short
film. Yeah.
a short film.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll actually, once you finish, cleaning up it, because I know you're still working on it. I'll post it, on my LinkedIn so everyone can see. I'll probably edit in a little clip that you already finished into this interview so people can see it. So so if you had to, say, describe what are the things that you would say you didn't know before the mentorship and that you actually know now.
Well, there's a lot of stuff because I knew the technical aspects, but I didn't know how to apply them or why to apply them. I think it's the why that is the most important thing I learned, and the why is the story is king, and all of the drawings are to serve the story. So that's the most important thing I learned through the whole thing, because those are things I never took into consideration before. Even with all the comic book background, all of those years, I have a feeling, but then it's completely different now that you know why.
Yeah, that clarity. So, what would you say, was the most beneficial part of the mentorship? Because I know you say there are a lot of things that you learned during the mentorship, but what would you say was the most beneficial to you?
Mm, just realizing that what's your story about, what are your characters about, and from there uh, you get to learn the acting, the camera shots, um, the timing as well. It's not. I mean, I learned also the what do you call it, the animation way of doing the storyboarding, which is completely different from what I did before video games. So, and it is something I wanted to learn. So that's the most. There's a lot of benefits that I got from it. Basically, all of my questions when I arrived to you, they were answered before even asking them. So I don't know. It would be hard to point all of them because I will repeat the class, right?
That's no problem. That's no problem. That's all good. So would you say that, you said that you wanted to learn storyboarding and make that transition into a new career, right? So would you say that you would have been able to, start creating these portfolio pieces and learning all of these, story ideas and story elements on your own? Like, would you have been able to like just do this on your own in such a short space of time?
Um, yeah, we'll have some pieces done, but they wouldn't be a good story portfolio pieces. And I will run into the common mistakes that putting random shots because they look cool, or there's no links between the character and the story, so that disconnection from the story. So yeah, I would have done like a portfolio piece, but it wouldn't be a good one. And now I realize that, because once you know and you get the not only the information but the practice as well, is it's a big learning process in a short period of time. Now I can go back and realize that it looks good, but it's not a real storyboard, if I can say something like that.
Makes sense. This makes sense. So what would you say, like, like if you could describe to the people watching, like how would you say like I helped you during the process? Because you also said that the information is out there, right? And you could
Hmm.
go and read up the technical stuff and stuff. So what would you say is like the way I helped you that these random videos on YouTube or Google couldn't?
I would say half of the information is there
Mm-hmm.
because they cover the technical aspects, but they don't teach you or they don't explain to you the story aspect.
Yeah.
That's the part that you helped me the most to realize that the story, we're telling a story. It sounds like easy,
Yeah.
and even I before coming to you, it's just like, yeah, of course that makes sense. It's just
Yeah.
like that's storyboarding. I've been doing this for years or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then you realize um, that there's so little elements to take in consideration that change everything. Just like, for example, when you told me, you like which point of view your story is about, that changes all of the possibilities, that changes that little sequence that I had in mind.
Yeah.
That's how, with that little question, it became like a short film.
Yeah.
Donc, that's basically the most helpful thing for me. Realize that we're working for the story.
Mhm. Definitely. So the next question I want to ask you is, who would you say this type of mentorship specifically? What kind of people do you think should take this mentorship?
Well, I say everyone, everyone that it is interested in like visual storytelling, uh, from the how they say like the no, it's not e-commerce, the students or people with no experience, even to professionals. Because even if you're a professional, you have like some experience, you get to first of all refresh the information that you already have, and then you get to see another perspective and learn something from someone else that it is that you might have not considered at all. So I think it's really open for the the range of people that would take it. So I would recommend it to every person that it is visual interested in visual storytelling,
Awesome.
and not only for because this could apply not only for storyboarders. If you are into comic books, it will give you a bunch of information. If you're into filmmaking, if you're going to be a director, that would be really helpful as well. So I will leave it like quite open.
Okay. Awesome. So would you say, like, I know this mentorship is an investment financially and in terms of time, right? So would you say that you made a good investment into this mentorship, or do you have like any regrets with taking this mentorship?
My only regret have been uh, not taking more classes,
Mm.
or I could have taken an extra project and get back to you. But it's honestly it's a great investment. Usually I don't regret that at all. Obviously, when you're starting, you always wonder because they can be a great artist, but they're not always good teachers. And that's something I saw in you. Is you're like you're both. You have really well prepared your classes,
Yeah.
and it was easy to follow. So yeah, there's no regrets. I really appreciate the whole mentorship, the classes, and the time you took for doing the reviews, and especially now knowing that you're like quite busy at your job and taking the time. You're like a zero regret.
Well, I thank you so much for actually deciding to take the the risk to take, the class,
Mhm.
right? Because you actually didn't know anything about me. You didn't follow me on Instagram, or you just saw my work, and you wanted to learn, and you took the risk, and that risk paid off. Now you're on your journey, your storyboarding journey. You already started a new piece. You're working on finishing, your current short film slash sequence, and you're already thinking about new sequences in the future, right? So for those of you, watching and listening, right? Storyboarding, like, even if you take the class, right, the class is gonna give you the tools to set out on your journey, so that you could tell your stories, and you could, do whatever you want to do, right? You're not gonna miraculously, after you take this class, be the best storyboard artist in the world, right? But it's gonna give you the tools to be on that journey, right? So the last question I wanna ask you, Mark, before I let you go, is, where can people, like, find you? Where can people see your work? Where can people contact you if they want you to do storyboarding with?
Basically, you can find me any social media, or Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. My name is Marc, Marc. Rosete is Rosete. Yeah, they can send me any message. I check them like regularly, so um, I'm open to, I'm willing to do more storyboarding for sure.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. So, and I would have edited, some of Mark's work into this interview a little bit, so you have a sample of his work. And if you want to see more of his, you could contact him. For those of you who are actually, wanting to be a storyboard artist, or some of you who want to improve your storyboarding skills, feel free to reach out to me as well. I am on Instagram as Artif Raj, Facebook, Rajendraram Kalwan, LinkedIn, same thing, Rajendraram Kalwan. I also have a YouTube where I have free introductory lessons for storyboarding and some other things. So if you can't afford to join the mentorship right now, there are free videos and free tutorials there that you could take as a primer to this mentorship. So again, Mark, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview with me to help people out there, students out there who might be looking for a one-on-one mentor to help them reach their goals. I really really appreciate that, and I can't wait to see more of your work in the future.
My pleasure, Raj. Anytime.
All right, thank you so much, Mark. See you later.
See ya, Raj.